Yo, what's going on everybody, Raging Fury 55 here, bringing you guys a brand new video, and today we have a whole guide on how to get better in infection. So a long time ago, my buddy Shnugly sent me a rough draft on how to get good in infection, and I just never really touched it. And then a couple months ago, I asked Shnugly, hey, can you revise it a little bit? Maybe we can do an actual video on this. So he revised his entire rule book on how to get good in infection. I read it, I think it actually looks pretty good. So today I'll be reading Shnugly's entire guide on how to get better in infection. So I'll be reading it, but all the words are from Shnugly. Shout out to him for making this guide. Honestly, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best players right now in infection. Possibly the best infection player in my opinion. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video and talk to you guys later. Number 1. Find your narrow spot. All good infection players have spots in which they do best on each map. There are multiple spots on maps that people recommend, but there's no such thing as the best spot. Take your time and find your spot. Number 2, find your controls. Accuracy and timing are crucial to being a good infection player. You'll want to find a perfect sensitivity to do good. There are people that play on 10 as a perfect sensitivity and people that play on 5. Picking something in between those numbers will determine whether you're comfortable with a higher vertical and or horizontal sensitivity. Modifying dead zones or other control aspects makes a bigger difference than one might think. These are all things that play into how well you perform personally. Find the way you play best and you'll start to improve. Number 3, don't get discouraged. Consistent killing errors aren't something that comes easy. Although well-known players like myself and Shnugly make it look easy, don't become discouraged if you're not hitting nairs every day. Take your time and be patient. If needed, ask other players for tips. Nothing is wrong about asking for help. Number 4, movement. Movement is absolutely crucial to being a good infection player, sometimes more important than aim. In situations where you are swarmed, make sure you back up as much as possible and give yourself room. There is a trick with the game type Alpha Zombies. When you're a last man, you receive a slight increase in thruster power. This means when you thrust or boost, you travel a further distance, so jumping or thrusting or bumper jumping proves a huge advantage against other players. A key to movement is moving in an unpredictable manner. Watch high tier gameplay for infection and watch how the players move. If they have good movement, they have a good way of making sure they're untouched throughout the duration of the round. Examples of this include staying off the radar but moving quickly, thrusting down lifts, and using any form of jumping across platforms that are harder for zombies to perform. Number 5, zombies that don't push. Everyone plays differently. Zombies tend to hide and play very passively. But if the zombies decide to hide, they will push out when they know that there are either more zombies behind them to push out at once, or if there are zombies from the opposite direction to work as a distraction. As an example, Nair spot on Malignant looking at human spawn, people will hide and wait for you to make a move or push out all at once. You want to give yourself room from the swarm to prevent death. Number 6, spawn flipping. Memorizing spawns and flipping the spawns on certain maps where keeping zombies in their spawn is an easy task. This is crucial to winning games and getting high kill counts, especially when there are dead rounds. One example is Riptide. Pay attention to Eagle Precursor's guide and infection when it comes to flipping spawns. A more in-depth guide is provided in his channel. Number 7, take mental notes. A lot of players mimic or copy the way other players play, and that's perfectly fine if that works for you. Watch other people's clips. You can learn a lot from watching people that are top tier. This is just my opinion off the script, but in my opinion, what I like to do is incorporate other players' movement and skills and put them in my own gameplay, but have some of my original skills in there too. So basically you want to incorporate a lot of the best stuff from each person's gameplay and put it in your own gameplay to make yourself the most efficient and best player. Number 8, zombie tips. There are different ways to play as a zombie. As much as we despise crouching alphas, it is a way to play as a zombie. But don't stick to just one zombie playstyle, mix it up with passive and aggressive. It might help you practice both tactics and become better at each of them. It is also important to know how far you can lunge and use it to your advantage. The sword has amazing tracking capability when up close. If you're directly above someone, you can kill them easily by using your trigger. Well guys, that is the entire guide to Infection by your boy Shnugly, the best player in Infection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this guide, and I read this guide and basically it covered everything I wanted to cover in a type of video like this. And yeah, just listen to Shnugly. As he said earlier, I mean, getting consistent killing is very difficult, and especially getting consistent top tier gameplay is very difficult. And in my opinion, yes, you need to practice a lot, and then you have to incorporate other players' gameplays to get really good. I remember the way I got really good at Infection is playing a lot more, not playing other game types, and on top of that, watching other players. For example, I would binge a ton of Eagle Precursor's gameplays, like 100 kills on Malignant, 110 kills on Hellfire, and then rewatch them to make sure on how to get good in Infection. By watching these gameplays, I kind of figured out how he played and incorporated his own skills into my gameplay and made myself into a better player overall. This is how from 2017 to 2018, I was able to make a huge jump in Nair count and in my KD and my win percentage. Anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments and me and Shnugly will answer them. See you guys later. Peace.